We are joined now by the reigning Big Ten Coach of the Year, Indiana's Curt Cignetti, on National Signing Day. And Coach, I would imagine different experience from last year when you were drinking through a fire hose trying to assemble a roster. What is it like dealing now with players that you've had a year to show, here's what we do here?
Still drinking through a fire hose. It's not that big anymore because you got signing date, the portal, retention, and then a game coming up. So, December, but every coach is going through this. So, we made it happen, and I felt confident going in. We could be a good football team, and we got on a roll. And to be honest with you, we were pretty dominant. And I mean, if you just look at our P4 games, we outscored our opposition 40-17 on average, just the P4 games.
When you got there, it was, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, Google me, all the stuff. But Curt, you guys did it. Have you had a moment to just, take a step back and go, we made the playoff and enjoy it? Or is it still just too many players assigned, too many players to keep, too many goals still ahead? What's it been like to actually achieve something that people might have rolled their eyes at, 6 months ago?
Yeah. Well, there was a lot of fun in the process, particularly in the locker room after the games. And then you get to go home and enjoy it a little bit. And Sunday you back up and you got another challenge ahead of you. And we've had a little bit more time to maybe sleep in an hour here since our last game and maybe reflect some. But, just making the playoffs, we're not satisfied. We got things we want to accomplish. And we got a lot done between the white lines and got a lot of crowd support that was over the top. People in this state and all the Indiana alums, and second most largest alumni base in the country, is really just over the top, in terms of their support. And, they got Hoosier fever, and it's been great to see.
When you've been able to bring recruits in for some of these big games, like the Nebraska game or the Michigan game, what has their response been?
Oh, it's been unbelievable. And, because the stadium's packed and there's thousands outside that can't get in tailgating. And most of those guys are, 26s because, the 25 class has been signed. And, it's opened a lot of doors. There's no doubt about it.
Curt, when you got there, I'm assuming that there was you guys did have to, take a lot of new players. You brought some people with you. You got portal players. You mentioned this just in passing, but I think it's important. It's like Indiana, with the success that they have now, also have to focus on retention. What's it been like, with your current team and the portal opening? And, when you accomplish something, people want the players that help you accomplish that, right? It's probably a little bit of a different feeling, at this time of year than it was, when you took the job.
Well, you're definitely juggling a lot of balls. But, I want our team to stay focused on the main thing right now. We've 3 practices this week, and then next week will be a little bit more like a game week once we find out who we're playing. It won't be exactly like a game week. And so, I've had a couple conversations with guys, but not many. I don't want that to be a distraction in the locker room. There's time for that. And, I think really my biggest challenge right now is keep everybody focused on the main thing, which we've done a great job of this year.
And you've coached at the D2 level, at the FCS level, where there is a kind of bigger expanded playoff. You've been through this process before. You're waiting to find out who you play and where you play. What is that like? And since you've actually done it before, what advice would you give for some of the other coaches in your seat who haven't done it yet?
Well, I don't think they need any advice from me. They're all there for a reason. But I look at it like this. We played our last game, and 3 weeks later, we're going to play another one. So, this week, our players will get 2 days of weights, and we'll have a light practice today and 2 short practices the next 2 days, and then find out who we play and then start preparing. But we're still going to have to balance, portal evaluation, official visits, and that kind of stuff with our preparation. That's what's going to be different than last year.
Coach, You guys are in the playoff. There's no debate about it. I know, in the time since the Ohio State game, you guys have probably had to politic or answer questions about whether you should be in or not. That cleared itself up. But after getting firmly in, do you still pay attention to discourse about who should be in, who should be out? People saying Indiana hasn't played anybody, all this stuff, or do you just, keep your head above water and just worry about your team?
No, I don't pay any attention to that right now. There was maybe going into the Ohio State game, I was seeing some of that stuff. I think everybody, we've proved that we should be in, and we're in, and we just got to figure out who we're going to play.
Now, I know we keep bouncing back and forth, but I feel like that's kind of probably what you have to do all day these days with practice, recruiting, portal. But I'm curious, you had such success taking from the transfer portal for this team. Does it change how you wanted to balance your high school versus portal as you go forward?
Well, I think you always want to sign 15 to 22 high school guys a year. That's the foundation of the house. But you're always going to have immediate needs also that need to be addressed. We just had such an extreme need last year because when I took the job, we had so many guys in the portal. I think our numbers were down to about 40 at one point. So we couldn't have filled a team. We had to hit the portal hard, and we did. So, we're going to have needs again. We probably won't need quite as many, but it'll still be significant because the bottom line is you got to win every year in this business. There's no years off. And my job is to put the best team together I can. So, all about recruiting development. And it's a big part of it.
This has been an amazing year for Indiana and, still games to be played. But if there's one thing I've probably learned about you here in the last 6 months is that this isn't going to, fill up the accomplishment tank for you, that you're going to want more, you're going to want bigger, stronger, better, consistency. And I'm wondering, because you might have had success at a level that maybe was faster than most people or even yourself would have anticipated, if this has changed your route, your roster strategy, or anything as it pertains to, maintaining the success that you've had. Like, is how you are going to go about this offseason different than you might have thought it would be two months ago?
No, I really no is the answer to that question, because I think every coach in the country is trying to get the best players available for them, right? We all do that. And it's just a matter of who you can get. But they have to fit your program too. Now there's a profile and, that coaches look for, and it's probably a little different from program to program. I mean, I put a lot of value in, guys' character and habits and past production when we're talking about the portal. I was a recruiting coordinator for about 20 years also in my career as well as a coach. So the high school recruiting is really important. But those guys are young. They come in, they take time to develop. And, we're a team because of the situation, the roster situation I inherited. It's going to have some immediate needs next year that need to be addressed. Now, I've got a good core group of players returning. They're good players. But, to make us the best we're going to be, we're going to have to be in the portal some.
Well, Coach, good luck with the recruits, the 26 recruits, the portal guys, and this next huge game that you're going to find out where and who on Sunday.
I appreciate it, guys. Always a pleasure.
Thanks so much for being here. We know you got a lot on your plate, and it's been a pleasure to watch you guys and looking forward to doing so into the playoff.
Thanks. We'll talk again.